I am Dana Ball. I am a small business attorney here in Utah. Welcome to Practical Legal Insights broadcast number 6. We are here each week providing you some tips on how you can protect your business. And we've been focusing on documentation for the last 5 weeks. With that, we've been talking about contracts, we've been talking about emails and text messages. Today, I'm actually going to take a slight detour, and I'm sure you're not going to be disappointed, but we're not going to focus on a particular contract. We are still talking about documentation, but it's a slight detour. Business owners generally do not go into business intending to find themselves in a legal mess. That's usually not your intention. I find that you business owners you care about your business, you want to protect your business, you want to protect your family's livelihood. So business ownership, you're taking on a risk. It's not an easy road that you have started driving down. Or if you've been in business for 20 years, you know firsthand it is not an easy road to stay afloat. When you own a business, you are risking yourself, your family's livelihood. You are under certain pressures and stress that people who don't own a business, I know they don't truly understand what you're going through. But I get it. I am there right with you. And these weekly broadcasts, I'm hoping, are going to bring some peace of mind to you. But unfortunately, when you own a business, you have to be well aware that we live and operate in a society where anyone can sue you. And you kind of have to run your business that everyone you deal with could be that one person that wants to turn your business life upside down on your personal life and file legal action against you. And so if you take these steps, it can't completely prevent somebody from doing that. It can certainly make it difficult for their lawsuit to be successful, but you just need to be prepared. So thanks for joining us, and thanks for actually making the effort to figure out what you can do to tweak your business just a little bit that can help protect it in the long run. And we want to get you out of your comfort zone. So each week I'm hoping I'm saying something that kind of gives you a little jolt. Oh, I've got to be doing that. And it will get you going. So let's start. Today we are talking about a legal entity. Now, legal entities, I see them as a wall. It is a wall that you build. It's the first step in building that wall that will protect your personal assets. So legal entity is that wall. It's going around your home, your personal bank accounts, any assets you own individually. And it is protecting those things from somebody who decides to sue your business from getting at your personal assets. So the first thing I want to say is that a DBA is not a legal entity. Keep that in mind. A DBA can be used with a legal entity, but standing on its own, when you file a DBA with the state of Utah, for example, you are not creating a legal entity. It does not provide you the protections that a legal entity that is registered with the state provides. So please, I've had that question a lot. I've filed a DBA, Dana. I think I'm good, right? No, you are not good. The first step in building that wall is to register as a legal entity. So the most common legal entities: limited liability companies, also known as LLCs, and corporations. To determine which legal entity is best for you, you need to do a couple of things. You need to consult with an attorney, like myself, and your accountant. The accountant is so important, and if you don't have one on board right now with your business, you need to find one. We have great accountants that we work with, and happy to refer you out. But they need to be involved. They see the big picture with your finances, and they can direct you along the way to prepare you for taxes. And with certain entities, you can change how you're taxed. So you need to bring an accountant on to decide if an LLC or a corporation is best. There are other things that help to make that decision too. You think about the future and what you plan to do with the company. But the most common that we set up, that's the easiest to manage, is an LLC. The other thing you need to think about, if you're the only owner of your company, it does keep things simple. So once you bring on a business partner, you need to be prepared. Things change and it's more complicated, and you just need to plan on that. That if you've been operating as a single owner and you decide you want to join up with one or more people, you need to change how you're operating and how your entity is filed to make sure that you're doing what you need to do. But it is more complicated, so be ready for that. Okay, the second part in keeping your wall stable and strong to protect your personal assets is several things. You want to maintain the legal entity. So once you've set up a legal entity, there are several things you need to do to make sure it is maintained appropriately. You need to renew it every year. Do not let it go inactive. Do not commingle your personal funds with your business funds. Accurately account for transfers of money. Do not commingle your individual assets with your business assets. That's like me coming and taking your car without permission. The business owns their assets. You as the individual owner do not have ownership of the business assets. You have to keep them separate. Don't engage in fraudulent behavior. Conduct all business, so all business forms need to have the business name and contact information. It's not under your individual name, it's under the business name. Last but not least, actually, there are two more things. You need to follow corporate formalities. So if you own a corporation, there's going to be a little bit more that you need to do. You need to give notice of meetings. You need to take minutes at the meetings. You need to document every little thing that you do with that business. But with an LLC, there are other formalities with both entities that you need to be following. You need to keep the entity registered. You need to put in a registered agent in the state of Utah. You need to always keep all the owners listed with the state of Utah. With a corporation, you need to have bylaws. With an LLC, you need an operating agreement. You also need to make sure that your company can adequately stand on its own financially. Do you have adequate capitalization for your company? So look at all those things that we've discussed. Are you doing that? When was the last time that you looked at your entity documents to make sure that everything is the way it should be for how you are operating today? If you're just starting out, then please contact an attorney to figure out how to get going, because you need to have a legal entity is what will protect your personal assets from being at risk. You don't want to risk your personal livelihood, your family's livelihood. And if you don't follow these things, then a court will say, you know what? That legal entity is a sham. It is just the owner's alter ego. It is not really operating the way it's supposed to. And that's how they get to your personal assets and can drain your bank account. They can take your home. So I leave you with this question. If you don't have a legal entity, then you need to start taking the steps necessary to figure out which one you need to do and get that set up. If you do have a legal entity, when was the last time you reviewed everything? Okay? Thanks for joining us. We are here for you. And you know what? We're trying to get 1,000 subscribers. So if you see my picture come up, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Join us when we have these weekly broadcasts that can help you, give you a little bit of information to help you to avoid court. Thanks again. Have a great weekend.